Okay, let's start. This is Unit 2, Chemical and Cellular Basis of Life. Let's read this. Elemental composition of living matter. Okay, there are about 92 elements naturally occur in Earth's crust. There are about 92 elements, right? Of which about 20 to 25% elements are essential to continue healthy life and reproduction. About 25 are essential for human and about 17 for plants. Okay, so in this within this 20 to 25% elements which is essential to continue a healthy life and reproduction, about 25 are for humans and 17 are for plants, right? 25 for humans and 17 for plants. 25, right? Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen make up 96% of living matter. 96% of living matter. Oxygen, so 96% of living matter, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, these four, right? Okay. Calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur make up most of the remaining 4% of the mass of the organism. Right? So in humans, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen accounts for 96.3% of the body mass, and calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, and trace elements account for the remaining 3.7%. So carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen 96.3, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, and trace elements accounts for the remaining 3.7%, right? So boron, cobalt, copper, chromium, fluorine, iodine, iron, molybdenum, manganese, selenium, silicon, tin, vanadium, zinc. These are the remaining trace elements, right, in the body. So yes. Now let's come to the physical and the chemical properties of water important for life. So these things also you must remember, like these things can be questioned in the MCQs, like the percentages and those things can be questioned in the paper. So you'll have to remember these things. Okay, now let's move to the second part. Okay. Now, this is another important section where we study about water. This can be questioned in structured essay, and also in MCQs as well. So, physical and chemical properties of water important for life. Water is a vital inorganic compound. So, water is a vital inorganic compound. Life could not exist on this planet without water. It is important due to following reasons, right? So life could not exist without water. So it is important due to following reasons. Water is a vital chemical constituent of living cell, provides a biological medium for all organisms. So these are the two important. This is why, because of these two reasons only, water is important, right? Because it's a vital chemical constituent of living cells. It provides a biological medium for all organisms. You must remember these 2 points. Most of the above properties are based on the chemical structure of the water. Physical and chemical properties of water molecules provide the ability to render the vitality. Water molecule is small, polar, angular. So, okay, this is a feature of the water molecule. What is the water molecule is small? Water molecule is small, polar, and angular. So, this is the features. There are 3 points here: small, polar, small. Then comes the polar, angular, right? This is water, H2O. So, if you draw water, this is how we draw the water molecule, right? There's a bond diagonal 104.5. So, this is the water. So, this molecule is angular. So you must be able to uh, draw the water molecule. Here it's delta positive and this is delta negative. Polarity. What is a polarity? If they questioned what is a polarity, you must be able to write that as well. Polarity is an uneven charge distribution within a molecule. It is an uneven charge distribution. Polarity means uneven charge distribution. Alright. So, polarity is an uneven charge distribution within a molecule. In water molecules, oxygen atom is slightly negative and hydrogen atom is slightly positive. So in a water molecule, oxygen atom is slightly negative, whereas the hydrogen atom is slightly positive. Weak attractions between the slightly polar hydrogen atom of one water molecule and the slightly polar oxygen atom of the adjacent water molecules are known as hydrogen bonds. What is a hydrogen bond? The weak attraction between the slightly polar hydrogen atom of one water molecule and the slightly polar oxygen of the adjacent. So there are two water molecules, right? The hydrogen bond the hydrogen bond is formed between two water molecules, not in one water molecule. These hydrogen bonds play a major role in maintaining all the properties of water. Okay, yes. The next point. The properties of water arise due to the attraction of different water molecules. The properties of water arises due to the attraction of different water molecules. When water is in liquid form, its hydrogen bonds are very fragile. Hydrogen bonds form, they break, they reform with great frequency. So these things can be tested in the MCQs. Okay, they can test these things. So you have to clearly read and understand accurately. Now they can tell there can be an MCQ statement question like hydrogen bonds form, break, and reform with a low frequency. So that will be wrong, right? Because it should be great frequency. So for that we have to read the resource book. So I'll be reading. My target is to read the resource book, and if there's anything, we'll see. Uh, I'll try to explain. Okay, here you have to read the resource book. You will have to listen me reading the resource book. That's the main target, because you'll have to always listen to the resource book, or if you can't read the resource book, you at least have to listen to the resource book. That will help you in unexpected ways that you won't even imagine, right? So it's close to exam, you'll be familiarized with the words, because there are small points. You will know the lesson, you will study the lesson, you will have understood the lesson, but at points you can't answer the question, you won't be able to answer a question, or sometimes you think the answer is correct but you will fail, right? The answer will be wrong. Why that happens? Because biology is not something that you have to finish study till the last moment, till the last day. You have something to study in biology. So biology, it needs practice. So you have to practice means you have to read the resource book as much as possible. That is the only thing that is the only tool actually for the exam. You have to read the resource book as much as possible. So if you can't read the resource book, that is a support I'm giving here. You can listen to the resource book at least. Okay. So my target is not to explain but to read the resource book. Okay, so I'll do another series of video which I explain the resource book as much as possible. So, four major properties of water to maintain life on Earth. What are the four major properties of water? Cohesive behavior, ability to moderate temperature, expansion upon freezing, versatility as a solvent. So, these are the four major properties of water, right? This can be questioned in structured essay. Properties of water related to function. Let's see. What is cohesive behavior? What is a cohesion? What is addition? Let's see. Attraction between water molecules due to hydrogen bonding is known as cohesion. The attraction between the water molecules due to the hydrogen bonding is called cohesion. Attractions between water molecules and other substances are known as addition. Now, if you take a container Okay, so what is the difference between addition cohesion? If you take a container, there are molecules like this. The attraction between these water molecules are cohesion. The attraction of this water molecule and the container, if you take, that is the addition. Okay, so between water molecules you call that as cohesion, and the water molecule and other substances, if you take this for example, this contain the wall of the container. Okay, the attraction between the water molecule and the wall of a container, you call it as a addition. Okay, that is called addition. Now here, both of the above properties of water allow to act as a transport medium. So both of these, cohesion and addition property of water, it allows the water to act as a transport medium. Okay, due to due to cohesion between water molecules, water and dissolved substances such as minerals and nutrients transport through vascular tissues, xylem and phloem against gravity. Addition between water molecules and cell walls also help in conduction of water and dissolved substances. Water has a high surface tension. This ability is given to water molecules due to cohesion between the water molecules. Right? This ability is given to water molecules due to the cohesion between the water molecules. High surface tension. Therefore, in an aquatic system, upper surface molecules are attracted by lower surface molecules and it forms a water film. Small insects, example, water skaters, can walk on the surface of a pond. Okay, so that is the cohesive behavior. Now comes the ability to moderate temperature. Water can absorb or release a relatively high amount of heat energy by a slight change in its own temperature. Okay, water can absorb or release relatively high amount of heat energy by a slight change in its own temperature due to high specific heat. So there are these things you have to accurately remember. Now see, due to high specific heat, water will function as a thermal buffer in the living system and aquatic bodies during the temperature fluctuations on Earth. Okay, so due to what is this? That happens due to the high specific heat. Now high heat, due to high heat of vaporization, we'll see what happens. Due to the high heat of vaporization, with the minimum loss of water, an organism can release much heat energy. Therefore, body surface of an organism can maintain a cool surface. It prevents from overheating. Evaporation of sweat from human skin. Okay, evaporation of sweat from human skin helps to maintain the body temperature at constant level. Transpiration in plants helps the plant body surface as a cool surface and prevent from becoming too warm in the sunlight. So transpiration in the plants also keeps the plant body surface as a cool surface, and it prevents from becoming too warm in the sunlight. Okay. Expansion upon freezing. Generally, in an increase in temperature of any substances, it reduces their density, and on the other hand, in a decrease in temperature, it increases their density. When the temperature of water falls below 4 degrees, it begins to freeze and form a crystalline lattice called ice cubes, right? When the temperature of the water falls below 4 degree, what happens? Water freezes, right? Water freezes and it becomes a crystalline lattice, which is the ice cube. Therefore, water has a maximum density. So, water has a maximum density of 4. The maximum density the water has is 4. 4 is the maximum density. Ice floats on the surface of water bodies. Ice is going to float on the surface. Now, water bodies are like this, right? Ice floats as a layer, like this. So, aquatic animals, they are safe inside. Okay? In the winter season, aquatic animals are safe inside. There is a layer only on top as ice is floating. It is an important property of water in the polar regions where organisms in aquatic bodies can survive during the winter. Okay, the next is versatility as a solvent. This ability is given to water due to their polarity. So versatility as a solvent ability is given to water due to their polarity. Polar molecules, example glucose, non-polar ionic sodium chloride, both polar and ionic lysozymes can dissolve in water. Because water molecules surround each of the solute molecules and form hydrogen bonds with them. Solubility depends on polarity and not in their ionic nature. If you take solubility, solubility depends on polarity and not in their ionic nature. Okay, now we have studied about water, the importance of water and the structure of water. So these are the four major properties of water. It's important for us to know these things. Sometimes there can be essay questions in term test papers or maybe in A levels as well, right? They can question. They can question in essay, in structured essay, and also in MCQ. These things can be tested. So water is another important section. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next part.